Everyone knows that a con artist requires a couple of things to be in place so that you as a target fall for the scam. One of them is a bit of naivete, but the other one is you need to have a lot of unrecognized ambition in yourself. That ambition is tickled with the offer of something incredibly good, in fact, too good to be true. And the combination of ambition and naivete is what gets you to buy into the scam in the end. This channel is Meditation Amsterdam. My name is Pablo, and today I want to talk about how narcissists use your unrecognized people-pleasing and manipulative tactics in order to get to you. And this is a video that might be a little bit difficult for people to hear, especially if you have been at the receiving end of narcissistic abuse. But the fact of the matter is that you are not as well-meaning as you'd like to think you are if you fell for a narcissistic relationship. It's more likely than not that you've been using niceness as a tactic to manipulate your environment and get people to respond in the way you want. This is something you may have learned very early on in life, when it was clear that acting in accordance to what people expected from you was perhaps at that time the only way that you could make sure that you would be taken care of, provided with love, attention, and care. However, as time developed, this grows into an entire mode of being, an entire personality, which truly believes itself to be altruistic, empathic, well-meaning, soft, nice, compliant, whatever you want to call it. And you go through life really believing that you are this good guy or good girl. When a narcissist comes around, you are presented with situations in which your supposed goodness is brought to bear. And because that supposed goodness is not coming from the right place, it can be coerced and leveraged against you. And it may feel to you as if the best of you is being used against you. But the point is that it isn't the best of you. It is simply a people-pleasing outgrowth, a kind of tendency to violate your own boundaries due to fear of losing validation. So what I essentially want to invite you to do, if you are in a situation of this kind, is to take a step back, and I hope this doesn't come across as victim blaming. But I think it's safe to say that if you have fallen for a situation like that, your boundaries are not what they should be. And there's a likelihood that because you feel victimized and quite badly hurt on an emotional level, that you will classify, or you will identify that situation as that in which you are being abused, which is correct. But at the same time, you need to turn around and take full responsibility for what was your co-participation in that situation, which was, as with the scam situation, not just an element of naivete, which I think is probably also there, right? We never expect people to be so manipulative and so ugly and so nasty. But at the same time, naivete would not be enough to get you to co-participate in something of that kind. There has to be a certain allure of winning something that brings you in. That allure is winning most likely validation. And because you have it programmed in you and very ingrained to relinquish your boundaries, people please, and comply with pretty much anything, especially if it makes you look like the good one, chances are that that's what made you buy into that dynamic. So reprogramming that is incredibly difficult. So anyone who's out there telling you that it's only about putting your boundaries in place, telling you that it's only about going no contact, or any of these superficial pop psychology type of advice has no clue what they're talking about. You need to go to the very core of your neurology, your very core wound, that which was entrained into you from a very young age, and which is your most susceptible survival mechanisms, and reprogram those over perhaps a long period of very painful trauma resolution. And anything short than that, no matter what boundaries you put in place, no matter what things you do, you would always be vulnerable to something that can cut through your defenses like a knife through butter, because you have a core inclination or a core tendency that has a tremendous primal pull towards people pleasing and appearing to be a caretaker or the good guy or good girl, and to be compliant in return for validation. And so long as that's the case, and so long as that is embedded deep in your neurology, there's no way you will be truly safe or truly able to build a relationship that is not based on you essentially relinquishing your boundaries whenever the promise of validation is presented to you. So that is the essence of the message today. It is the idea that our niceness is not something good. It is only good if it's coming from a place of full empowerment and no need for validation, and otherwise it's simply a manipulative tactic in order to garner validation from the outside, often at the expense of our boundaries. If you think that this is valuable content, then I'm very curious to hear about it in the comments, or maybe you have a take on the topic. And as usual, liking, subscribing, and sharing the video makes it available to others that may also benefit from hearing this. And I'll be back with more pretty soon. Cheerio.